Hello and welcome to Silver Wheel Tarot. Today we're going to do another general reading. Just what information do you need to know at this time? So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards to get the theme of the reading. Let's go ahead and shuffle these. Okay, we have Owl, follow your intuition. Try and show you that. Okay. Take half of these at a time. And let's pull some of these tea leaf cards. Oh, this one's coming out. Let's see here. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goal. Okay. We'll go with a 3, maybe 4. I don't know why I feel that one too. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Well, we'll just have to put them like this. Tower. Solid foundation, success with effort. Again, goes great with the boot energy. Basket. Recognition, reward for merit. Handshake, a meeting with a stranger could be important. And affairs with your family. All right, let me sit with this for just a minute. Okay, so I'm not quite seeing yet how the family tree is coming in here yet. Definitely some sort of project you're working on. It could be an art project. I get a sense of being in the right place at the right time. Not necessarily like a handshake with a person, but almost like a handshake with time, right? In the right place at the right time. Yeah. All right, let's see what we have here. 4 of Wands, right underneath the family tree. Four of Swords, perspective, Knight of Wands. Something fast moving. Under the deck we have 5 of Pentacles. So the sense I'm getting from this is with the foundation of 5 of Pentacles, you have this sense of coming from a place of misfortune, looking towards the future. She's looking towards the right-hand side. I typically associate the right with the future and the left with the past, unless something specifically otherwise states. You're following your intuition to get out of this energy. You may have some conflicts and blocks around the family area. This could be how you were raised to look at finances. You have a keen intellect. We're seeing here with the Four of Swords here. And you're quickly moving out of this mindset of a Five of Pentacles, which I'm sensing is how you were raised. And you're doing it through creative endeavors. And you're really taking the time to create this solid foundation. So we also see structure within the Four of Wands here. It's not just having a solid foundation, it's a foundation with a purpose. And spiritual aspect as well. So the foundation that you are embarking on here, creating, is one that is set with intention, right? You know where you've come from. You know what you were taught as a child. You know what changes you'd like to make. And so you are intentionally making that effort. You are intentionally saying, okay, this is where I've been. I know where I want to go. And I need a solid foundation in order to do that. You know there's going to be some sort of struggles and challenges along the way, because this is learned thought processes, learned behaviors that have been taught to you, but not only taught to you, but they're in your bloodline, right? So, you know, this may have been taught to your parents and to their parents and to their parents, right? There's a lineage of this it's a lack of prosperity, but it's more than just physical wealth, okay? It's a mental aspect. It's a mental perspective. It's an aspect of your entire way you view the world. But you've seen something. There was something fated, right? This handshake with time, okay? And it could have been with a stranger. Maybe a stranger is how the message was brought to you, but it was, you were in the right place at the right time, and the right person came along, or the right situation. For some of you, it may have just been a situation, a string of events that you looked at it and you went, oh my gosh, I see this now. For others of you, it could have been meeting a specific person and a conversation, the way they said it, how they, the mannerisms in which they say something it's basically bringing to light for you, where you are actually able to see this generational thing that is significant, that is running through your family line, that you're like, no, we don't need to go down that path. We don't need to view things that way. The reason why there is this feeling of a constant season of drought, or being stuck in the middle of a winter and not getting ahead, is coming from this conditioning in the mind and in the soul, because it's hereditary, right? Or your parents were taught by their parents who were taught by their parents, this way of viewing money or viewing prosperity or viewing life in general. And you've had this chance encounter already. And so what I'm seeing here is that you have followed your intuition. Through following your intuition, you are setting these intentions to create the life you want. I mean, look at this gorgeous picture, right? Family gathering, you've got this community or communion, you've got animals here setting up for the holidays, and they're just surrounded by abundance here. Not just abundance in physical things or abundance in finances, but an abundance of love and togetherness, generational, right? In the care and compassion that comes with it. This is what you want. And you are setting your intent. You're saying, okay, so this is where I am. I'm going to take a step back, because here you're in the fives energy, okay? Change that is often uncomfortable, and it can also be hard times. So you're like, okay, well, I'm going to take this 5 and I'm going to turn it around. Kind of like I'm going to take that frown and turn it upside down and turn it into a smile, because the beauty of being in this position with this 5's energy, this 5 of Pentacles, is 5s are all about change, transition, transformation, transmutation. There's shifts happening, or the ability to have the shifts happening. So you reached this point where you're like, okay, I'm at the bottom here. I'm struggling. This isn't, really in the past here, because she's looking to the future. So, but this chance meeting opened your eyes and your heart and your soul and your mind, and you're like, it's like an aha moment. You're like, oh my gosh. And the beauty of that is that within these troubled, hard times, which have been constant generation after generation after generation, within this 5 energy is the ability to change. But in order to change, you have to see it. And you've seen it. So now you're able to take a step back into the 4's energy, and really reshape your future. You are in charge of your own thoughts and how you view things, and you're aware of this. And since you've seen the story, you've seen what's been taught to you, and you recognize it, and you acknowledge it's there, and now you can tap into your own willpower, your own mind, set your own intentions. I mean, she's having a party here. She's got all the fairies, and she's having a good time, sitting in her office, enjoying her work instead of dreading it or slaving over it. This could be a career change for some. It could also just be a perspective change on how you view needing to go to work every day and do what you need to do to have the things you want, to put in the work to get the things that you need, but also not just on that surface level, right? There's a spiritual aspect here too, I'm seeing with this statue here in this Knight of Wands, which just means this is going to be quick moving for you. And quick is relative, okay? So for some of you, quick could be a day, a week. For some of you, it could be a month or a year. And for others, it could be several years. It depends on what energy you're working with. This perspective here, this change? Is it something huge? Is it monumental? Or is it something small in your everyday life? You're like, oh my gosh, I just, if I view something this way, then it's going to make a positive change. Like what just popped into my mind is, maybe you resist coupon shopping because it's a pain in the neck and you're like, takes time. I don't like doing it. Well, maybe the change for you is a perspective change of, look at how much money I'm saving. And if I'm not spending that money, then I could be paying off my debts or saving for the future or saving for something fun I want to do. So it's this perspective shift from a negative to a positive, okay? Being grateful for what you have and the ability that you can say coupon shop to then free up more of your resources. You're getting out of a lack mentality. If it's something simple like that, it could be very quick. If it is something monumental, which I'm getting possibly for a lot of you, and this could be family, down the line, because the negative attitude towards, something as simple as coupon shopping, feeling like you're above it maybe, or it's just a pain and you don't like doing it. But that focus on the negative can be taught to you and handed down from generation to generation, instead of having a perspective of growth and opportunity and gratitude. It's all in how you look at something. So for some of you, it's going to be that, and that can still be generational, and you can get creative with it, right? So this is a general reading, so apply it to your situation. Creative project could be, you've decided to make it a game for yourself, or a challenge on how much money you can save each week coupon shopping. Okay, so this is just one analogy. So to flip the scales here and put it on a different type of analogy here, we see something much grander in the scheme of things. This would be feeling like you have to slave over a job that you hate, like that it's a requirement to have a certain type of a career, or to make a certain amount of money, or to live a certain lifestyle that requires a job that you hate. Okay, so if the perspective there is shifting, this could take time, right? You're setting your intentions and you're putting your focus here. What I'm seeing is more on the quality of what you have over the quantity of what you have. While they have much here in this picture and also in this Knight of Wands, it's a very blessed energy. It's one where it's what brings value to you. Okay, so this could be a shift in perspective. Maybe that job that makes you twice as much money as a different job, actually you're like, you know what? I don't need to have this job just because I was raised that I need to accomplish this, because it actually has less value for you than, say, a job that makes half as much money, because maybe it takes your time away from your family. You don't have a work-life balance, or, this striving for money when what you really want is a happy home. So do you need a mansion for that? Money does not buy happiness. Okay. It also doesn't mean that you have to go from making a lot of money to a little bit of money. Okay. So it's just an analogy here. So let me give you a third one of this energy shift. Is what it is it's a huge energy shift that has been affecting generation after generation. And it could be something as simple as coupon, having a positive outlook on, say, coupon shopping to free up your resources, or it could be something as big as, going from a materialistic to a minimalistic lifestyle to have only things of value in your life. But it could also be about your passions and your joy and your love for life. Okay? Maybe you switch from one career to a completely different one, and for all we know, it could make more money in the long run, right? So, the money out analogies are for the ease of it. So please fit it into your situation. This is more than just money. This is a perspective on prosperity, prosperous in love, prosperous in joy, prosperous in the generosity of others, prosperous in the gratitude and graciousness that you show for what you have already in your life. Okay, so this is a going from a loss perspective into a growth perspective. It's big. Okay, so several different scenarios there. Fit it into yours, but what I'm seeing here is that this was fated. Okay, you had this handshake with time, whether it was a situation, a string of events, a person, all of the above. Someone said the right thing, or you heard or saw something, and it opened your heart and your mind and your soul, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to change this. Okay, you're in the fives, you take a step back. Also, Spirit keeps pointing out, so I'm going to say it, is that I'm seeing the 4 here, which is 44. It's a very protected as well as balanced energy. Also together they're 8, so cycles. You're breaking a cycle. And there's going to be some fast movement here. And with the fiery energy, it's also very passionate. And this boot here says increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. I feel like you're doing the work already. You're setting the intentions, but you're enjoying yourself while you're doing it, or you're learning to enjoy yourself as you're doing it. That work doesn't have to be hard. You can do something that you're very passionate about and actually make a very good living. You can make the temporary sacrifices that need to be made in order to achieve what you truly value in life, to create the world you want. And if you don't know what that looks like yet, that's okay. Experiment, have fun, try different things. You'll figure it out. And I feel like you are putting the work in here, but there also is a sense of creativity here. With the design on the boot is really standing out to me. So remember that creative doesn't have to be an artist. I know I said artist earlier, and for some of you it very well, somebody out there it is, but it could be writing. Creativity could be your mind power and your ability that maybe to you before was unknown to think strategically and creatively, to creatively think and skillfully and tactfully lay out your plan and make it happen for yourself. Okay, you might really get into that and you didn't realize it before. You're like, oh, okay, so this challenge is, while things are challenging, maybe you enjoy a challenge more than you realize, and you enjoy the intention setting and the thought process behind it, and the overcoming of obstacles, and the creative strategic ways to maneuver around obstacles that are in your path. And this is a very positive, forward-moving growth mentality, to think strategically, to overcome, because you're looking towards overcoming instead of focusing on the lack that is there. Okay, so we do also have this basket, this recognition, reward for merit. The work you're doing is not going to go unseen, though I feel like some of you on a soul level don't really care about being seen, but on an ego level might, you're like, it would be nice, something like that, or would really bask in recognition. But there will be some sort of recognition here, a reward for merit, the work that you've done. You're trusting in your intuition. The universe has got your back. It is not going to let you down. That is what I'm hearing here. The divine source, God, how you view that, sees the hard work. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to open your eyes and your heart and your soul to something, to truly receive it, to see it. Because a lot of people in their life can be shown something. It is possible to go through this handshake of fate, destiny, through meeting someone or some event or something that really turns the tides for you. But some people don't want to see it. And so even though they see it, they'll ignore it and keep on living in the fives. Okay? So to see it, to acknowledge it, to honor it for what it is, because if you hadn't gone through what you've gone through, then to get to this point, you wouldn't have the opportunity to turn things around, which is monumentally huge, not just for you, but for generations to come, right? And if you don't have a family of your own, say you don't have children, then, you know, it could be the example you're setting for others, whether they're related to you or not. And that can help change generations to come. You don't have to necessarily have a bloodline family of your own in order to affect future generations, okay? This is a very big energy here. And so maybe through your creative endeavors. Let's see here. So we have some more space here. I want to find out some more about how this is going to go in the future. But let's see, what deck do I want to use for that? Okay, Spirit's like, use the Halloween Oracle. I've got it right here. So we're going to go for that. We got kind of the Halloween theme here. In this Four of Wands, we have quick movement here, and with the reaching for the Halloween Oracle, I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, so, you know, Halloween is almost 2 months away. And so well, it just feels a little silly for me. The other day I was doing a reading too, and I said, you only have to have one deck, and, you know, if it's a Halloween deck, use it all year long. So I'm just kind of laughing at that. But because, you know, Divine's got me pulling out a Halloween deck to use. So what does the future look like that is coming in? So also what I was going to say is I'm really sensing that time frame wise, while it's moving quickly, you could start seeing some effects of this around the end of October, beginning of November. Okay, so we want to see what this future looks like. The immediate future, right? How is this quick moving, what you're moving towards quickly, where this recognition reward is going to come in, just because we're looking for the positive effects of you putting in more work. So another thing is, for some of you, the sacrifice may not be financial. It may be time. Time is coming up in this reading as well, and effort, time and effort. So in order for you to achieve what we're pulling a card for here, what we're going to pull, I might actually pull 3, because I feel like this could be different for some of you. A few different perspectives. So it's a general reading. We'll pull 3. It could 1, 2, or all 3 could possibly apply to you when we pull it. So, but what I'm getting here is the effort. Perhaps in order to create what you want is going to take a lot of extra work at the forefront of it, right? To get going. Maybe you are going to have to expend a lot of effort into it in the way of mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It could be on all of these fronts, and in order to also maintain a balance within that is going to be a lot of work. And what I'm getting here is that Source is going to acknowledge that work. It will not be in vain. You will be able to persevere through it. Your willingness to take a situation like this, a mindset that you've been taught, and being willing to take a step back and put the amount of work into this and trust in your intuition, trust in spirit. Owls also tend to represent spirit. So if that's angels for you, depending on your spiritual beliefs, it could be the Holy Ghost, it could be the goddess, it could be anything, right? It's whatever your spiritual beliefs are, this is going to fit into that for you. So it is the divine source, the creator, is going to acknowledge this work that you've put in. So yes, it may be hard. Yes, it might be grueling. Yes, you might get tired from time to time. And yes, you might struggle to find a balance, but you will find a balance. You are in the right place at the right time. It is synchronistic events that have brought you here. So let's see what 3 scenarios we have for where this is bringing you. And again, I'm getting this is probably for some of you beginning of November, end of October. And if you are watching this, all my readings are timeless for the most part. I think most of them are. I was just trying to think, do I have any that aren't? Not really. So even if I'm giving a time frame, so I'm doing this reading at the beginning of September, so you're looking about 2 months out. So if you get this reading and it's not this time of year for you, then you're looking at about 2 months out. And oh my gosh, we got 2 owl cards. Wise seeing, wise action. Wow, is that not what we were just saying? Your eyes have been open, you see it for what it is, and you are taking this action. There's got to be something deeper here, though, because this was the outcome, right? Ooh. Oh, that's powerful. So, I can't even explain what I'm feeling right now. When you, how do I say this? So, I pull the card and I'm, doing my thing mentally, spiritually, like looking at this card and saying, right? So what is the deeper meaning? And I look at this, and this owl eyes is like when I looked at it, it was like bam, almost like a brick wall, right? It was like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like looking spirit in the eye, like the divine source. It was like, I see you. So this is yes, okay? The divine sees the effort that you are making. You will have some sort of recognition. This doesn't have to be from other people. You could recognize this. There'll be something, some kind of recognition from spirit to you, from the divine to you. And you're going to know that you are seen, that you are acknowledged, that you have seen this pattern and you have made the intention to follow your intuition and to change it. And that you are putting the work in and doing what needs to be done. These synchronistic events, this divine timing has been laid out before you, and you made the choice to see it. And in turn, Spirit is going to do something for you in a way that you're going to know that you are seen. You are not small. You are not insignificant. Your choices are monumental. That word keeps coming up. It is huge, and it's going to hit you in your heart center, and you are just going to know that is coming for some or all of you. That's beautiful. Invisibility. Authenticity. I don't even remember. I've gone through this deck several times and I don't remember this card at all. Invisibility. I like the synchronicity of that it's the invisibility card, and I don't remember ever seeing it, but I digress. Okay. That's what I'm talking about too here with this enjoying. Like what I'm doing here, I enjoy what I'm doing here. You're going to enjoy this life you're creating, the work you need to do. It's going to bring a joy, a gratitude, a happiness in life for you. Okay? But with this authenticity, it is because you are being authentic that it's going to bring in that joy. You are almost going to be invisible in a way. I'm trying to figure out how that fits in. It's very auspicious. Oh. Invisible to, you're protected. You're protected in this. You're seen and protected. So what pops into my mind is impervious to bullets. Okay. Well, what that is bringing up for me is this sense of where you need to be unseen in order to get through. You will be unseen. You're going to, this is more like a reward for your merit. The work you've done, you are protected in it. And in doing so, is if you need to not be seen in order to be protected in some way, that is going to happen for you, right? So how can I give an analogy to that? Let's say you have this grand idea, right? You're switching your whole life around, and we're in the future here. And no, hold on. There's something more to it. And Spirit's like, no, I'm not quite getting the full message. So let me just sit with this for a minute. I always feel like I don't want to keep you guys waiting, but Spirit is insisting here. So let me see. What is the message here that I'm not grabbing on this? There is a power in authenticity. There is a power in making this choice, trusting your intuition, and actually standing in your power and going through it, accomplishing it, doing the work, putting in the effort. This takes authenticity to do that. You can't do it without being authentic. It requires it. And within that authenticity, there is a power. And it is a power of invisibility, but how that presents for each person may be a little different. When I'm looking at this card, it gives me a sense of like the void, okay? But almost like you can see into the void. Oh. Okay, I got it. Within this creative power, okay, and we're moving, this is the future, right? There is that power that comes up is this invisibility. Well, what this invisibility is in being authentic, people are not going to be able to predict what you're doing because you're authentic. You're not going with the status quo. You're not going with what's expected of you, certainly not what you were raised to be expected of you, because the way that this has come down the generations has kept you in this 5 of Pentacles energy, and you're like, nope, we're not doing that anymore. Okay, so in going against those standards, you are creating your own standards. You are having to become authentic in order to do this. That also means you're not following the conventions of everyday, day-to-day life from even people who are not in the 5 of Pentacles, who are maybe raised a different way and they have a prosperity and a growth mindset, and they're living a lavish life and they're just, happy and prosperous, or they are maybe not living a lavish life, but they are full of love and joy. They have what they value, okay? But because the means that it took for you to get to that, because you experienced this, because of the chance encounters and the choice you had to make to see it, and then the choice to put in the effort and to trust your intuition when everything else around you is saying, this is insane, what are you doing? Okay? The fact that you were in a position to have to go through this in order to get to where you're going, and you actually chose it when most wouldn't, that gives you this power, this invisibility, this authenticity. Within that authenticity of self is this power of being unpredictable. This invincibility is be prepared for people to be shocked by what you do, maybe for the rest of your life, because they're not going to see it coming, right? They see you going about your day, but they're not going to see, in a sense, where it matters, where it's important. You have this protection. It's like having an invisibility cloak when you need it. It's this ability that you are gaining. And it is just this sense of you're unpredictable. And that makes you invincible, because nobody knows what you're thinking unless you tell them what you're thinking. But you're smarter than that. You know that if you're working on something that, you want to keep your intention clear from outside influence, because you're trusting your intuition. Okay? So it's powerful. Both of these very powerful energies. All right, let's see what the third one is. Zombie. Control. Oh, that's a good one, Spirit. You're no longer a zombie. You have control over your own life. Yeah. You're not a drone. You're not a robot. You're not a zombie. You're not a tool for someone else to use for them to gain something else. You're not a resource for somebody else to use up. You are in control of you, your fate, your destiny, your desires, your hopes, your dreams, your fears. You're in control of it all. And there's something here about the light of the moon. Oh. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so the moon reflects the sun. The light for you shines a light on the burdens that you used to carry that you have laid to ground. Okay, you've laid those burdens down. You're not carrying them anymore. And in doing so, if the sun represents the divine source, creator, creation, and you represent the moon, then you reflect the light of the divine onto others and onto situations and events and people. And you are able to shine a light on their burdens like a full moon night, so that the rest of the zombies could possibly have their eyes open too and have the opportunity to make the choice to do what you do. That's powerful. You have control over you and who you are, but it's in a very balanced way, and it's in a very divinely supported, blessed, prosperous, advantageous way. It's a very divine feminine control that you have over your life now because of these choices that you've made and the efforts you've put forward. And while, yes, you may get recognition from others, people are going to see the change that is happening in you. But more importantly, Spirit is going to help you to recognize the growth within your own soul, within yourself, and the reward that that brings you. And the sense of gratitude that you're going to feel for that is going to be amazing. You're no longer a zombie, my dear. That's what I'm hearing. Beautiful. All right. Well, that was a powerful message. I hope that was helpful. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you do find value in my videos, please do like, share, and subscribe. If you feel led to, it really does help the channel and for me to spread these messages out to more people. Until next time, be blessed.